She began instructing him to harm his family members. She told him to burn his younger sibling with scalding water and to—
You're way too old to be doing that to someone. What? How old is this kid we're talking about? I've seen enough. Electric chair. The most painful gamer deaths ever.
The Royale incident. Addiction is a crime.
Out of every game you could have possibly told me was going to result in someone ending, the last one I would have expected was Clash Royale.
Chronic condition characterized by a compulsive urge to engage in a specific behavior like drinking, substance abuse, or in this case, Clash Royale. A young man had grown so attached to the mode—
Young? How young are we talking? Like middle school?
Game that it became the center of his life. He was a level 9 and was already at 3,600 trophies.
Okay, I don't know how much that is. Y'all gotta let me know. Cause level 9, that doesn't seem like that much.
Which, honestly, is pretty impressive considering that this took place back in 2016. In those times, having just 3,000 trophies would literally place you in the highest arena. To put it into perspective for today's time, it'd be like getting to 15,000 trophies when you're just a level 12.
Okay, just based off of how crazy Jinxie is reacting here, I can tell that's probably an insane achievement.
In other words, he was a sweat. Each victory gave him a rush of validation, and each loss felt like a personal failure. His days revolved around the climb, pushing trophies, upgrading cards, and chasing more wins.
It's crazy because Clash Royale is literally just a second version of Clash of Clans. If you really think about it, a lot of games that try to do sequences or like other types of like remakes, it's usually terrible. But with Clash Royale, they literally hit it on the nail.
Over time, his joy turned into obsession. The game that once entertained him slowly began to consume him. It was no longer just Clash Royale, the app was now his life. He took everything personal. Unfortunately for him, on one fateful night, the man would become overwhelmed by the two cards he absolutely hated the most in the game.
What?
Elite Barbs and Hog Riders. Match after match, player after player, his opponents kept using these cards with their levels completely maxed out. He began losing every round, with each loss angering him more than the last. Before the young man even realized it, he had dropped down hundreds of trophies in a single day.
Damn.
And at that point, something inside him broke.
What?
Rage and despair collided. The man threw his phone, got up from his seat, and began— So, unfortunately, I can't really show you the rest of this incident, because it turns out that it actually crosses some of YouTube's guidelines. So, maybe I'll make a Patreon or something? I don't know, but—
Wait, what happened though? I'm sorry, yo, maybe I'm just an idiot and I can't understand context clues. Does that mean he just not existed himself? What is that supposed to mean? Let me know if y'all know.
Anyways, let's move on to the next incident. The Gamer Rage incident. In June—
But hold on, before we get into that incident, Clash Royale, dude, bro, it's just a video game. You can gain those trophies again, I promise you. There's no reason to finish your entire existence over some trophies on a virtual game. You can get better at games. That's the beauty of life. There's always another day.
24, a gaming dispute took an unthinkable turn from the virtual world into real life. After receiving constant trash talk and beratement from another player on a dying video game, a 20-year-old man from New Jersey finally decided that enough was enough. His favorite video game was shutting down its servers, his life was stressing him out, and this player was still trash-talking him. The man sat down and deeply pondered how he'd go about addressing his situation. And it was at that moment that he came up with an ingenious idea.
What?
He'd go and find out where the player lived.
Yo, how are y'all this unemployed, bro? Okay, maybe you could say he just wants to scare him and lets him know he knows where he lives. But it's literally just trash talk. Is it worth terrifying someone's life acting like you're gonna pull up? It's a video game. It's a digital game. Doesn't affect your life in any way. Are you competing for money? Is this like a trophy? I highly doubt it's that, because it would have said you're one of the greatest players. You're not.
Tell his mother that he was going to visit a distant friend and then fly 1,000 miles to the player's town.
You spent money on a flight ticket to go berate him in real life? Dude, there is levels to unemployment that I feel like I'll never reach in life.
Upon arrival, he'd purchase a hammer at a local hardware store and then found the man's house. At 2 a.m., the 20-year-old would enter through the man's unlocked door. Then he ambushed him and struck him repeatedly as he walked out of his bedroom. The man would break into a panic and completely freak out.
Imagine finding out the person that you played with in the game was gonna pull up to you in real life to end your life. The chances of this happening has to be more rare than the lottery.
Trying to register the totally unbelievable situation before his eyes. Some dude he was trash talking on an MMO was actually inside his house at 2 o'clock, attacking him. During their struggles, the man began to scream out for help, and to his complete luck, his stepfather happened to be awake and nearby. The two of them together were able to stop and subdue the 20-year-old until deputies arrived. Although he was injured pretty badly, the man survived and received staples that had helped close several head wounds.
Good.
As for the other man, Kang was arrested on multiple felony charges.
For a video game. Imagine having to explain those felony charges when you're trying to apply for a job. Oh yeah, that's only because I was playing 2K. He dropped a 3 on my head and he called me a loser. You're not getting a job anymore. No, there's something wrong with his head. It gotta be severe bipolarism.
And when questioned about why he did what he did, he chillingly replied by saying that the other gamer was a bad person online. The VR.
Okay, you think the judge is gonna be like, oh, okay, what did he do? Oh, he teabagged you while you were down? Okay, yeah, you know what? We're gonna free you.
In December 2017, a 44-year-old man in Moscow was at home with his headset strapped on, fully immersed in a VR session. But inside his apartment, the line between the simulated world and the real one blurred. As he moved around the room, he lost his footing and stumbled hard, slamming into a glass table. The impact was devastating. Glass was everywhere, on and inside of him. As the man stood back up, he didn't even have a moment to panic or call 911. He instantly fell back down and became unresponsive. Unfortunately, investigators later reported that he passed away almost instantly.
Dude, shouldn't VR tell you whenever you're like across boundaries? Like, doesn't it automatically just stop the game? That's a scary thought to even think of. I'm pretty sure VR is more advanced now, but wow.
There was no chance to save him. This stood as one of the first recognized incidents where a VR caused the passing of an individual. It serves as a stark reminder that while virtual reality transports us to other worlds, our bodies never leave this one. One misstep in your living room is more dangerous than any simulated battlefield rendered on a screen. So remember to always be aware of your surroundings when you put your VR on.
Literally.
The window incident. As it grew dark outside, it rained and thundered on. This night was supposed to be a quiet, relaxing session of gaming for this 33-year-old man in the UK. He sat in his living room playing his PS5, unaware of the complete chaos that yet awaited him. He opened up his window for some fresh air and resumed his gaming. However, the weather of the night would have no plans of calming down anytime soon. Slowly, it began storming harder and harder outside of his house. Then, in the midst of his game, a sudden bolt of lightning struck his home, bounced off of a puddle of water outside, and then bolted right through his open window and
okay, what are the chances? Some final destination way to go out. Through the puddles?
Slammed straight into his body. The impact from the lightning bolt was...
Dude, the thought of just vibing in your couch thinking to yourself, man, I had a long day. I can't wait to start some FIFA. I can't wait to start some Roblox. And then a lightning just goes through the window. Not even on the top of the roof.
So immense that it launched him from his chair and shocked the living hell out of him, scarring his body with branch-like burns. But, despite how lethal lightning strikes are, the man somehow rose back up from the ground. His head was throbbing and his body was on fire, but he was completely confused, not knowing what hit him. He went to his partner and asked for a wet towel because he had a headache, but upon seeing his horrific condition, they immediately freaked out and rushed him to a hospital to be treated. Doctors and staff took him in and did the best they could do for his burns and internal shock injuries. And against all odds, he somehow survived.
Oh, that's good. Okay, because when you're telling me about this title, I'm under the assumption that everyone is gonna go away. I'm glad he's alive.
Even though he didn't pass away, I couldn't imagine how absolutely horrifying it must be.
Yo, why he look like a Giga Chad though? Damn, that lightning gave my boy abilities. He might be the new Thor.
For you to be playing video games in the safety of your living room 1 second and then getting struck by literal lightning the next second. Ironically enough, the man was playing Stray, and if you're not familiar with that, it's a game where you're a cat trying to find its way back to its family through... you guessed it.
Lightning?
A thunderstorm.
Oh.
The Roblox incident.
Roblox.
In the fall of 2024, a boy whose only escape was Roblox found their world warped into something unrecognizable. What had once been a game of building, laughing, and running soon became the doorway to a disturbing nightmare. As the youngster continued his gaming, he'd stumble across another friendly gamer in the chat. But on the other side of the screen was Tara Alexis Sykes, a 36-year-old
Oh, wow. I've never seen a more accurate depiction of someone in my life.
woman from Pensacola, Florida. And unfortunately, she wasn't just another player. She was something far more nefarious. The woman reached into the child's loneliness and began speaking to him as if she were a close friend and someone who deeply understood him. She took her time and
even while knowing his age? Oh, yeah, we know about you. You need to be put on the list.
earned his trust. And then she revealed her true intentions. She began instructing him to harm his family members. She told him to burn his younger sibling with scalding water and to—
You're way too old to be doing that to someone. What? How old is this kid we're talking about? I've seen enough. Electric chair.
violently throw him at the tile floor. If his parents found out, she commanded him to sneak into their room at night and to do away with them.
Why? Yo, can y'all imagine how dumb she looked when she found out that the kid actually did it? I wonder if she thinks she's role-playing or he's for real serious.
Go on to tell him to burn their house down with aerosol and matches. But when the youngster attempted the first of these vile instructions, deputies immediately arrived to the house. They found that some of the parents' sheets were covered in spray and questioned why he was hurting his younger sibling. Paralyzed in fear,
Yo, I'm glad they caught his ass though. That's good to hear. Wait, how did they even know about that?
the truth finally spilled out. The kid admitted that there was a woman online who was telling him that he had to do what he was doing.
Yo, she probably never thought she would have been caught doing this.
It was revealed that this vile witch
Ugh.
used a children's game to puppeteer a child into attempted. Sykes was arrested and charged with multiple felonies.
Good.
She was held without bond and now faces decades in prison. Thank God. There are countless stories like these on platforms like Roblox. If you're young,
Yeah, but if you're young, as soon as you see someone that's old or someone that looks like they shouldn't be on the game, block them, bro. And why would you listen to someone that wants you to do crimes? Like, if someone told me, like, hey, burn your whole house down, I'm thinking to myself, yo, bro, I don't know you. And second of all, I love my family.
do not talk to strangers. And if you have younger siblings, monitor them and always check up on them personally to ensure that they're safe and happy. The hammer. It was supposed to be just another night, until a game turned into a motive for. In Russia, a young man was told by his parents to stop staying up all day and playing computer games overnight.
Which is completely valid. Bro, you're a kid. Look, a lot of these things we probably despise our parents for when we're young, but you gotta understand, they want you to get some good, adequate sleep. You're young, your body needs to grow, like you need to get some rest. The game is always gonna be there.
Mother took away his keyboard, hoping to enforce some discipline. But unfortunately, his obsession was darker than anyone realized. That night, while his father slept, the youngster crept into his bedroom with a sledgehammer.
A sledgehammer? I'm sorry, how does your 2-foot ass even carry that much? And how do you even swing that heavy? Like, what were you expecting to happen after this? Did you think after you hurt your parents that they would just allow you to just have a keyboard? Did you not think you were gonna get arrested? Do you not think you were gonna regret this later? How terrible is your relationship with your parents?
Yep, he literally showed up with a 20-pound sledgehammer. He carefully covered his father's head with a plastic bag to ensure no mess would be made. Then he lifted up the heavy tool.
You went that far? You went that far to make sure there would have been no mess? So you pre-planned this out. His ass needed to go in your opinion. Wow.
And swung it down at his head. He struck him woefully with 6 brutal swings. And sadly, his father would never wake up. Even though it was his mother who took away his keyboard, he decided to attack his father instead because he was afraid that he'd wake up and stop him. After the vicious ambush, he demanded his keyboard back from his mother. He then went to his room, locked the door, and went straight to his computer setup, where he would engross himself in an endless binge of gaming for hours.
Wait, you don't think the mother's gonna call the police? You don't think anyone's gonna ever see the body? You think the mom was gonna be like, oh, okay, hold on. Hold on, let's just hide the body and let's just act like this never happened. You're getting arrested.
It was until police were called. Thankfully, he was arrested and formally charged for what he did to his father.
Good.
Relatives described him as reclusive, spoiled, and completely lacking discipline. With his father gone, he had finally believed that he was the head of the family, but bludgeoning your father with a hammer so that you can play games doesn't make you into a man.
Literally.
Unfortunately, it sort of makes you the opposite. Video games exist as some of the best entertainment out there in the world. They're
True.
fun, immersive, and detailed. But safety is more important than fun and immersion.
Facts.
Don't speak to random strangers on the internet.
No.
Don't let your gaming become compulsive and uncontrollable.
Literally.
And definitely don't.
And I feel like as you get older, bro, and you start really seeing the world for what it is and how important it is to like actually provide for your family and yourself, you're gonna look at video games as kind of a waste of your time. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're gonna get rid of games, but I'm just saying like there's other things you have to make sure you're doing as well. It's all about balance.
Let games make you so mad to the point you start physically attacking people. Game right and game safe. With that being said, I can absolutely destroy any one of you in a Clash Royale match.
That's cap. Talking Hat, hit me up. Let's set something up. I've never played it, but I know I can smoke you. Anyways, YouTube, that does conclude the video. Let me know what game you were the most heated at. Let me know which case you thought was the dumbest. Make sure you guys subscribe to the gaming channel. Let me know what games you guys want me to play. Check us out on Twitch, join the Discord, all that good stuff, man. Waxer for life. Love y'all.